If you haven't noticed already, we are slap bang in the middle of Cley High Street, and coastal locations do not come much more prime than this. Behind me is Miller's house. I'm so excited to show you. It is a treat on so many levels. Now, I can't honestly remember the last time I was this excited to show you a house. From the high street, of course, it looks fabulous, but inside, you realize just how unassuming it is. Now, it's not going to take you too long to discover that this is an incredibly visual house, but the quality and the tactility of the accommodation is also worth paying attention to. Now, you might be wondering why I've bypassed the entire ground floor and taken you straight up to the first floor here. Well, take a look at that. There's no question this is an incredible spot, especially those views to grace the accommodation, but there's a house to look at, so I best pay attention. Open plan spaces like this are a delight to look at in their entirety, but this one is so worth picking into the detail. So let's do just that. This kitchen, for example, sets the perfect tone for the rest of the property. Really nice, earthy, natural materials used with incredibly classy and calming colours. It perfectly complements not only the energy of the property, but also the setting as well. You'll continue to see this showcase throughout the whole property, but it is a masterclass in matching your immediate controllable environment to the wider natural environment around you. Now, it goes without saying, with a space like this, of course, you're going to want to do some serious entertaining. And for entertaining, you need good, versatile dining and seating options, and that is delivered perfectly here. We've got a very elegant breakfast bar which serves as the perfect threshold from the kitchen to the dining areas, and the perfect informal dining option. That is complemented by this dining space here. Plenty of room for a 6 or 8 seater table, as you can see, and don't forget that whilst you're sat here, you're graced by those wonderful views out over the water meadows toward Wiverton. And of course, a good versatile open plan space isn't complete without a good area for some nice comfortable seating. It's absolutely packed with light, this area, from those huge sliding doors leading out to the balcony. Absolutely perfect in summer to invite the outdoors in. But not just that, in winter you've got this central wood burning stove which turns this whole room to an incredibly cozy area. One of these places that can really shift with the seasons, and that is not easily achieved. Now, given that we've covered the first floor, you're probably expecting me to head downstairs to the ground floor, but this is not a house where you can expect the expected, if that makes sense. I'm so happy to see a bedroom like this up here. It is just the perfect use of the space, and once again celebrates its surroundings, but does so in an incredibly classy fashion. Not only is this principal bedroom an incredibly generous size, but it is served by a lavish ensuite. It is graced by top quality fittings, filled with light, adorned by a gorgeous view, and finished off with some very bold choices of colour. Once again, a masterclass of balance. This is all starting to feel rather impressive, but don't forget, we've barely scratched the surface. We have the entire ground floor to get into, and this is where the house transforms from stylish, from impressive, to a showpiece, to a bona fide practical home. Follow me. Now, we're back to the central hallway that we saw at the top of the video, and orbiting off there is a whole plethora of very versatile reception rooms. We'll try and guide you through them the best we can, but without a doubt the best way to appreciate how this all interacts is to come and see the property for yourself. It begins with the perfect antidote to the large sociable space upstairs, and that is a smaller snug to come and get some peace. But you'll notice here that the flooring changes from those really substantial natural stones back to that same whitewashed timber that we saw upstairs. But of course, in a house this imaginative, a downstairs reception doesn't just need to be a downstairs reception. These sets of pocket doors can disappear and open up this entire room into what is currently set up as a bedroom with its own reception, but really the only limit to how you can use this space is your own imagination. The light is working perfectly in the space, and the carpentry on display is awe-inspiring. These shuttered windows, for example, just add another layer of interest. The last piece of the puzzle showcased here that makes this the perfect versatile space is that just across the hallway it is served by another lavish bathroom. What I particularly like here is it has a completely different character to the ensuite we saw upstairs. There are no copy and paste rooms in this house. Everything has its own character, but everything is just exquisite. Increasingly, our homes are becoming spaces where we not only live, but also spaces where we work. And come over to the other side of the property and we've found the perfect studio space. Once again, this room is filled with natural light and sliding doors leading straight out onto the patio as well. The sense of volume is wonderful and inspiring, and it's been used very well with a mezzanine floor added up here too. Now, we've seen a few glimpses of the outside space from the terrace and also the studio as well, but once you're stood here you just realise the size of it, not what you'd expect on Cley High Street. It's a generous enclosed private garden, got a wonderful flint wall forming the boundary at the back. This terrace, you can imagine, is a real sun trap when it gets going. The raised beds come to life with colour and vibrancy in the spring and summer. And don't forget, this home has all the practicalities in mind as well. A garage with off-road parking as well. The full suite of outdoor practicalities, and as I said, not what you'd expect in such a prime location on the high street here. Well, I hope that's given you a fair insight into Miller's House, a special home here on the coast. If you wanted to ask any more questions about the property, or indeed you wanted to arrange your very own viewing, we would love to hear from you. The number for the Soweby's Holt office is on your screen now.